my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, home, home. Sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
Alrighty, Grenada, once more we want to welcome you to another Mikey Life program, people. This is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Things you have not heard about anywhere else or seen anywhere else, you will see and hear about it right here. We have no horse in the race. We give you undiluted, unbiased, unfiltered news as it happens in Grenada, the region, and around the world. It is my pleasure to be back with you for another day. I do trust and hope that you and your family are doing well. Yes? Now here's what housekeeping matters. I'd like to encourage you to share the program. You see, when you share the program, people get to see what's happening here. When you share the program, people see what's happening in the country. So share the business. Now we want to welcome all our viewers via Facebook. You are appreciated. Our viewers via YouTube, you are appreciated as well. And our viewers via WPG10, channels 10 and 11, channel 11, HD, channel 10, standard definition. It is my pleasure to have you with us again to tell you all that's happening in the news. Folks, let's take a look at the headlines. Now, in the headlines, police in Trinidad speaks on reaction to Mr. Killer's song. We'll tell you what they're saying. GFA, that is, saga continues. We were at a press conference tonight, and so many things were said at that press conference. We're going to tell you more about that. Acting president of the GFA says press conference is illegal. We'll talk about that. Fire destroys a shop in St. Andrew. Words of a crash happening now in the city. We'll tell you about that. St. Lucia takes a page from Grenada's social net policy, the SEED program. Woman in trouble for fake names in Guyana, and police detain mentally unsound suspect linked to the primary school disturbance that we told you about last night. So we have that and more to tell you about right here on Mikey Live. It's your pre-Valentine's program right here on Mikey Live. So folks, here's what. Brace all yourself. Share the program. When we come back, it will be real news in Olelele Lolo. I've noticed somebody here hasn't shared the program as yet, so please go ahead and do so. We are coming back.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
What happened to you?
My cancer one. Cancer gone with our next one.
Cancer? Who is cancer? And who you go with?
Who is cancer? Why you don't live in here? My cancer is a disease caused by too much abnormal cells in a part in the body. That cancer is a real killer.
Yeah? Cancer should be in prison? But by the way, who cancer kill?
Mr. Jella last son.
You mean Jackson?
Oh.
And he was so young and never thought cancer does kill young people so.
My cancer is no respect of age, race, gender, nothing.
You're telling me? I hear you have over 25 different types of cancer.
Like, cancer then style now? Cancer more popular than them damagings and them?
And from what I research, early detection, exercise, and healthy eating is your best chance of fighting against this terrible disease.
Let's intensify our fight against cancer. Regular screening, constant exercising, and healthy eating habits are the key to winning the battle against cancer.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
Alrighty folks, welcome again to Mikey Live. It is now time for us to get into what's making news for tonight. Now earlier, the first little thing I want to tell you about boy Gaza. Alright, now the Gaza Powerade National Swimming Championship gets on the way this weekend, Saturday, February 16, for the first time of the 6-day event. Over 100 swimmers from swim clubs across Grenada and Carriacou will compete to be crowned Grenada's National Swimming Champions of 2019. Now, the Grenada Amateur Swimming Association is pleased to welcome back their title sponsor, which is Powerade, for the 4th consecutive year. Now, this year's event will take a different format as the championship is now extended over 2 weekends. The increased days allows for swimmers to be sufficiently rested in order to compete in some of the longer course events and so on. All right, such as the 1600 meters, that's 1650 meters, free male, and 1000 free females, and 4000 male, all right, which have now been added to the competition to provide greater opportunities for the swimmers to meet the CARIFTA and CCCAN qualification standards. All right, so they are inviting persons to come out to this. Now the event will commence at the following times over the 2 weekends: Saturday, February 16, 8:15 a.m., Sunday, February 17, 11:15 a.m., Thursday, February 21st, 5:30 p.m., Friday, 22nd February, 5:30 p.m., and Saturday, February 23rd, 10:30 a.m. official opening ceremony at 9:30 a.m., and the Sunday 24th, that will be 9 a.m. all right. Now the 2019 National Championship is expected to be a keenly contested event, as Grenfell Swim Club, the defending champions, has its eyes set to retaining their title. All right, so I thought that was interesting to tell you about. Okay, now the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, let me see if I get like a picture. You know, I like to show all like a thing, you know, not just tell all about it, but show all like a thing. Now here's what's happening. The Grenadians, I don't see it, you know. Anyway, oh, they're in Cuba, boy. You understand? They had celebrations and so on, you know, in respect of our independence. So they had a nice like a celebration and thing. Grenadians studying in all the provinces in Cuba. So they arrived in Havana to celebrate the country's 45th year of independence. Now on Saturday 9th, the day started with the students participating in the usual outdoor and indoor games. They play pool and thing, while availing themselves of the opportunity to socialize with each other. You know, they say it was a really nice little session and thing like that, you know. And I thought I should let you guys know about that. But of course, you know, we doesn't read no long set of thing on the program. So here's what you guys need to do. What I want you all to do is check out our website, mikeylive.com, and there you'll be able to get pictures and so on, and also a full story of that. All right, we're moving on. We have so many things to tell about tonight, boy. Now, the next thing we have to tell all you about, we used, if you noticed, we had a press conference today with the GFA. It was very interesting. We used technology provided by Digicel. For the first time, you know, it was somewhat like a test run, and it went smoothly. Yes, and that is just a testimony to what I'm about to tell you, that Digicel, your total communications and entertainment provider in the Caribbean, made a pledge to every government and business in Grenada that the new fiber optic cable system currently on the way, because they're doing the little construction and thing all over the island, will be a total game changer in Grenada. And folks, this is the truth. Now, you had the CEO even speaking about that Siobhan Redhead. You understand? They are saying that this is going to improve the way we do business. This is going to improve everything when it comes to technology or browsing, communicating, and so on. I ain't making it up. Currently, the lines are being installed around the island, and soon, businesses will receive connections, including 100%, I believe, of government outlets, government facilities will receive the fiber optic connections. Residential homes will also receive that. People superior business I'm talking about, I ain't even making it up. You understand? Digicel, they say they are really pleased to make that promise to you. You understand? Anyway, let's leave that talk there. Police in Trinidad, they are talking about people's reaction to Mr. Killer's song. Right now, the thing breaking the internet. You know what breaking the internet right now? Corn soup. Everybody talking about it, people. But the police say, oh yeah, have all your fun, but respect people's property. Have all your fun, but here what's going on. You cannot be lawless. Yeah, the song bad and thing like that, but you have to be responsible in your actions.
Finally, we wanted to address a situation that has been engaging the TTPS in recent times. We have a lot of party goers and vendors making several reports to members of the police officers who are on duty at various all-inclusive parties on various events, where they're indicating that their rights are being violated. As it relates to a particular song that is playing, the song, has the lyrics in it, pick up something. And based on that, when that song is being played, we understand that persons go into what we call a frenzy. So what we're asking party goers, in your enthusiasm, the song is a nice song and the persons are very charged about that song is playing. We're asking persons to please be mindful and do not violate the rights of others. We had reports such as there was a vendor, corn soup vendor, and they pick up his corn soup apparatus and they left with it, and it was not returned. Now, if that was not returned, that means that that person's property was taken away permanently, which is one of the ingredients for larceny, which constitutes an offense. We also have instances where persons were lying with their significant other, and a group of persons came and pick up a female and carry her away. So that constitutes an assault. And if that person was not returned, then probably that could have been a kidnapping. I'm just saying. So there are a lot of offenses that could stem from some of the actions being taken place or being allowed by persons who are, charged by this particular song.
Okay. Fair enough in the context. Fair enough. But what officer looking? Wait.
We have a lot of.
How the officer face look familiar so? Wait, Dinah, hold on. Dinah, oh gosh. Anyway, let me talk there. So, if you didn't bring back the consup stand, then that constitutes an offense. If you didn't bring back the man, that constitutes kidnapping. Like, listen, you can't even make up that kind of news. You know why I'm saying is this is the Caribbean, where news is entertainment. The officer said, look, acting superintendent, I'm making it up. If you pick up them people, woman, and you don't bring her back, that is kidnapping. I'm not making it up. I did not say it. He said it in anything I thought that. I could play it back for all you though. I could play it back for all you because I hear he say it. I hear when the man say, you pick up the man, woman, then people, woman, and if you didn't bring them back, you kidnap them. So anyway, on a point of seriousness, all right, I get where you're coming from. The difference is Grenadians know how to party to the song. You go take the Trinidadians at 2 minutes to understand that when we take people thing, we just bring it back. You understand? So when the song say take it, I don't tell you how to take it, but I'm just saying, just make sure Trinidadians on the program and know about all Trinidadians on the program, put up all your hand. And then people from Trinidad watch the program. So here what's going on. When all you take them people thing, just put it back with all your gate. And for those people on the live who like to take people woman, all the man saying is make sure you bring her back, because if you don't bring her back, that's an offense. It constitutes kidnapping. Yes, officer? That's not what you said? All right, let me go. Next story. How are we looking for time? I ain't making it up. It's the news. Oh yeah. The next. Oh God. I sure see that man face on TV already. Anyway, lately I had talk. So earlier, on a serious note, no. Today was no ordinary day for the Grenada Football Association. I was still laughing. First, I like shipping this. Today was no ordinary day. There was a press conference held in the business. You understand? There was a press conference to talk about the current situation with football. So let's put things into context. In 2013, 14, 15, thereabout, there was an incident involving the president of the Grenada Football Association and another member within closed doors, a board meeting or something to the effect. The president was charged, right, for assault and obscene language and some kind of something. So the case has since been on. The case was recently concluded. He was fined $400 for something. You understand? So the members thought that, hey, let us suspend the president, conditionally suspend, so it's for a period of time. So that's why they call it provisional. All right, so it's a conditional suspension for a period of time. Good. Right. Pending an investigation and things, the president turns back and says, well, hey, the portion of the Constitution in which you rely on to suspend me ain't really that. Y'all ain't misinterpret the whole business. The president get a lawyer, my dog, Ruggles, to write to the GFA to say so. In the meantime, there's an interim or a, well, let's say kind of like the vice president now becomes the acting president, right? And so forth. Now, FIFA intervened, which is the body in charge of all of them like that, so, and says, hey, there's no grounds for the suspension, you know, but did not directly say to them to reinstate Chenny Joseph. And so there was a meeting held on Monday. I'm putting things in context for all before I go to what we're talking about now, right? A meeting held on Monday by the same members and them, so they said, by, I think it was 9 of them, 5 and 4, 9, right, good. To decide where do we go from here. Now that we receive a response from FIFA, there's a motion that was moved to have Chenny reinstated. The motion failed because the same 5 persons voted against that motion again. So then Chenny Joseph remains suspended. On the back end right now, you have the members calling a press conference to talk about the matter. So yesterday, an invitation was extended to the media to show up to this press conference at the GFA headquarters. Well, then last night I brushed my teeth, and I wash my food, and then kind of business, you know what I mean? And then kind of business, ping pong, I get a message from the vice president. Came a press release saying that, hey, here what's going on. These members who have called a press conference is doing so without the blessing of the GFA. You understand? His press release said, I wish to inform the media, football stakeholders and our corporate partners that the actions of these individuals are not GFA sanctioned, and therefore any statement made by them, the members, the 5 members who are on your screen, well, one was missing because they was in school, are on their own behalf and not on behalf of the GFA. As such, they were also forbidden to use the GFA's facility, so they had to have it in the cricket stadium. Man had to climb up step and thing, but a small thing because, you know, it burns some fat. So right. So the press conference is happening and explanation is being given. It was a long press conference, you know what I mean? I had to come and feed me fish. I know me fish the real vexing me because my fish will come out. So anyway, people, it was a very interesting press conference. Very, very, to say the least, interesting press conference. Here is an excerpt.
Of the meeting, they asked for the Constitution, they asked for any pertinent document, and at that point in time we received the document from the court. So since then they have written, and this is their position. One of the things that we did, that we thought that was important for us to one, get a legal representative. And the reason why we wanted to get a legal representative, because it's interested that the current legal representative of the GFA, the current legal counsel of the GFA, is also working in the same firm of the person that actually took the case for Mr. Joseph. So we thought that going to them on that matter probably would have been conflict of interest. So what we did then, we had contracted the services we made a decision to go ahead to see another lawyer. And I think Ren has a name. I can't really remember. What's his name? Rennie. Yeah. So, and what we did since then, the sitting president, Mr. Alan James, he refused to go by the lawyer. And the lawyer has in his position response for one, because we do know that Mr. Joseph, he had filed document through Siboney Chambers. So the lawyer has in his position, one, a response for FIFA and a response for Siboney Chambers. So they continue to frustrate us in the process, and this is where we at.
Can you disclose the reason advanced by FIFA why the the action that you took was not correct?
No, I don't think it's fair to say that is not correct. We took a decision, and if persons know in terms of the happenings with football, we are a sovereign state. We have a constitution, and the constitution is passed by FIFA. The article that we use, which is Article 42R, to provisionally dismiss the president, is sound and is legal. Up until this time, we have experience with letters from FIFA. Normally, FIFA would tell you that the decision you made was unconstitutional. They never told us that the decision we made was unconstitutional.
All right, and so folks, what he's saying that FIFA never gave them a directive. FIFA gave its opinion on the matter. However, FIFA said that, listen, we don't think that there is any grounds for the dismissal, and so they did not give a directive, and that's how the current members are interpreting it. Of course, there were also information that circulated that one of the members resigned overnight. The director for St. John, which is Mr. Randy Campbell, questions was put to him about that, and he says that at some point in time he will depart, but not for now. Probably after he would have announced through the group chat that he was going to be resigning with immediate effect, would have received calls of persons saying, please don't do that, and so he has reconsidered. He say it is inevitable that he will at some point in time, but currently he remains a member of the executive. People, listen, that kind of thing you can't make up. I just feel like some Coke and popcorn right now and to drink some Glenelg, you know what I mean? Because when I drink the Coke, I have to drink some Glenelg to wash down the sugar. So here's what's going on, right? We want to move from the drama and thing like that to something more, well, something different. Not something more. I don't want to get myself in trouble. So there is now an opportunity for you to purchase your tickets. You know that we have some cricket games coming up, and the Grenada Cricket Association has announced the opening of the Cricket West Indies local ticket office for the 3rd and 4th one-day international from Monday 11th February. Now, the office located at the National Cricket Stadium box office will operate during the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. daily. Ticket prices for Grenada are quoted in US dollars. All right, so for the members pavilion, level 3, $75 US, which is 200 EC. Level 1 and 2, $50, that's US, so that is equivalent to 135 EC dollars. The Junior Maui Raw lowest stands, level 2, 135 EC. For level 2, level 1, 95 EC. For the grounds or the bleachers, it's $40, all right? Now, here's that they have ticket specials as well. Here are your ticket specials. Children 12 and under are free with the purchase of any adult ticket. Senior citizens 60 years and over are free with a presentation of national ID at the box office while stocks last. And local ticket special, 50% off ticket prices with presentation of your national ID at the box office. I should have seen that first, right? Right, so 50% off for tickets prices, all right, for the once you present your ID as a local, all right, and that's how it is, all right? Good. How are we looking for time? Now, we have more thing to tell all you. How are we looking for time? All the shady program, not some of all the shady program, what it is, man? Piper, a piper is aiming for the world record, and that piper is in Grenada. Now he wants to travel in as many countries as possible, playing the piper. They say who pays the piper calls the tune. Check out this story. He's been captured in Carriacou.
Russ Jennings, a writer and musician from Scotland, aims to play the bagpipe in every country around the world. Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique is country number 91. He spoke of why he decided to go on such venture.
5 years ago, I met a bunch of adventurers in London that did adventurous things, like they'd hike up mountains or they had skateboarded across Australia, swum the Mississippi River, and I thought, you all can make a living out of this. Why can't I make a living out of this? But I'm not quite as hardcore as all of you lot, but I'm really good at wearing a skirt and playing a noisy instrument and really good at booking flights. So I decided to come up with this idea to play the bagpipes in Antarctica first, and then I went and Googled it, and it turns out a bagpiper piped in Antarctica in 1906. So I thought, bugger, I've got to do the whole world. And that was that, 5 years ago. And then 3 months after that point, that was 2014, I booked a flight to Tunisia, and that was that. The rest was history. And now I'm 91 countries down, and many more to go.
After leaving Carriacou, Ross will be going up the islands. He spoke of his experience thus far going through the islands he visited.
My experience of all the Caribbean islands so far, I started in Barbados, went to Trinidad, and then about 6 days ago I arrived in Grenada, and that's the first time I've ever been in Grenada, and it is honestly so beautiful. It is jaw-droppingly beautiful, and everyone I met in all the previous islands I was in said you will love Grenada and Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and I've no doubt that I was going to, but yeah, my expectations have been way more than exceeded. It's been super beautiful, and it's been really cool today being able to explore some of the heritage on the island, the Scottish heritage, some of the traditions, and witness some of the really awesome views.
During Ross's time in Carriacou, he visited a number of sites, which included Bel Air and the boat-building village of Windward, where he played his bagpipe.
Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you are officially country number 91. And the spot that I've decided to play the bagpipes at is at the Princess Royale Hospital, which has one of the most incredible views in all of Carriacou, and it looks over Hillsborough. So I'm about to play the bagpipes, and I'm going to choose a very Scottish tune.
Bagpipes are a woodwind instrument using enclosed reeds fed from a constant reservoir of air in the form of a bag. Bagpipes have been played for a millennium or more throughout large parts of Europe, Northern Africa and Western Asia.
Alright, I could play something else but not the pipe. Alright, pipe is for smoking, not for playing. Congratulations, guy. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Fire destroyed a shop in St. Andrew, and to hear the mother of 5 speak about her loss, it was just heartbreaking. She said moments after she left her shop to go to Grenville to get some stock for the shop, she received a call that said that her shop was on fire. Upon return, she noticed her shop was totally gutted in flames. She says that was her main source of income, and she doesn't know what's gonna happen next. She's actually from La Porterie, and she says that she needs to be able to send her children to school and so, and she doesn't really know how she's gonna get that done. Just before coming on the program, we received this footage of a crash that happened in the just at the entrance of the city. That's on Melville Street, right in front of the gas station. We have no word on injuries or what caused the accident, only to say that this is a report that we received just before coming onto the program. We also received word from someone that this bus would have recently started plying the number 5 route. All right, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, as we speak of bus, free bus ride tomorrow, God's willing, is Valentine's. People, Valentine's, What's going on with Valentine? Valentine used to be like a big thing in Grenada. Just 2-3 years ago, Valentine's was like Juve morning in Grenada. Now, things have changed. Thanks to Corporate Grenada, though, they are still trying to keep the spirit alive. And so the communal credit union are putting on a free bus ride. The branches are putting on a free bus ride. They say that they are spreading the love this Valentine. So on all the communal branded buses for tomorrow, you will be riding free of charge. And that is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free ride is open to the general public. They're also asking that you post a picture and tag them on Facebook, and you can also win a free gift. Free bus ride from the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. Speaking of free ride, how about a gift for her this Valentine? Great gift ideas and great gifts for her at the duty free. All right, go get her perfume, her exotic drinks and jewelry, sunglasses, and you know the likes, the things that make her feel special on Valentine. As well, happening at duty free, you can get gifts for him. You know what he likes: the watches, the belts, the wallets, the colognes, you name it, and the drinks, of course. Yeah, you get the right gift for him at Duty Free Caribbean. We are moving on, folks. The next thing we have to tell all you about, boy, St. Lucia is taking a page from Grenada's social net policy. Would you imagine that programs that we have here is being modeled, somewhat duplicated by an island such as St. Lucia? They say that their policies have failed over the years, for decades. And so they have turned to Grenada to see what Grenada is doing, because it works here. Let's go to St. Lucia.
Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment, Leonard Montoute, says St. Lucia's social protection programs have underperformed in the effort to eliminate poverty over the last 2 to 3 decades. The St. Lucian government seeks to strengthen its capacity to implement social protection and juvenile justice reforms. It will take a page from Grenada's Support for Education, Empowerment and Development (SEED) policy. A team led by Montoute is touring the Spice Island this week to learn more about successfully implementing the initiative in St. Lucia.
Data from successive country poverty assessment highlight the persistent stubbornness of St. Lucia's poverty headcount, which has remained protractedly high at an average of 25% of the population over the past 2 to 3 decades. This inertia in St. Lucia's poverty figures is symptomatic of a deeply entrenched systemic and structurally persistent integrational poverty situation among 25% of households in St. Lucia.
Montoute disclosed that the government continues to allocate an estimated $34 million to poverty reduction efforts. He says one of the challenges is to decide who is included in the social programs.
The mismatch between the actual deprivation and interventions provided. While it is easy to simply transfer monies to household, each household has unique deprivations, be it health, education, housing, and in some cases, domestic issues, which stymies their ability to breaking through the vicious cycle of poverty. The fourth would be the quantum of resources provided to the poor household, and that is very often not sufficient to lift them out of poverty. In addition, in many instances, poor households are in need of multiple interventions if they are to break the cycle of poverty.
Thank you very much. And of course, it's good to know that they're actually modeling from a program here in Grenada. And of course, that was a report from St. Lucia. As we continue speaking of St. Lucia, I want to take you to Guyana, where, oh good, watch me girl. She look at she come out and get she Valentine gift. She look at she come out well off. Pretty smile, you know, tight up jeans and full time, whatever mark on her t-shirt. Who can guess? Who can caption this picture, in fact? You know what? Let's ease up on the suspense. She's a 31-year-old. Her name is Unique Angelica Hope. You don't hear name. Listen, some parents just real push the luck. Some parents just real push the luck. Unique, Angelica, Hope. I mean, you can't go wrong with all these names. You don't hear name. Pretty names. So let me tell you the story behind her. She was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment and fined $40,000 by a magistrate after she pleaded guilty to making a false declaration in order to obtain a Guyanese passport. Hope is of Thomas Street. All right? She admitted that on January 17, 2018, at the Central Immigration and Passport Office, Georgetown, for the purpose of procuring a new passport, she signed a written document stating that she was Coretta Hope. Hope made her first court appearance in January of 2019, where she had denied the allegation and was granted $100,000 bail with conditions that all her passports be lodged at the court. But she was unable to post bail, and so on Wednesday, Hope changed her plea and confessed to committing the crime to take care of her child. Okay? So she committed crime to take care of her child. According to news reports, Hope was deported from Barbados to Guyana after she overstayed her time in that country. She then obtained another passport in Guyana under the name Onika Ann Benjamin and went back to Barbados, but was deported again for overstaying. Now, on January 17, 2018, Hope, along with her mother, went to the Central Immigration and Passport Office and applied for a passport under the name Coretta Hope, who is her differently abled sister. Jano. So she come out inside and looking like she won the lottery. Eh? People who see that picture go jealous. They go say, "Whoa, yo, she win her money." Play with. What I play with, ad? The one man playing the guitar. All he want to do is play with. Jano. Eh? Let me leave Hope Angelic alone here and tell all about another story on the program. That story not even funny. So let's tell you another story. You know, last night we were telling you about an incident which happened at a primary school in St. Lucia, where a mentally challenged man, believed to be mentally challenged, went to the school. He got himself in trouble. He was threatening to do this and threatening to do that. They detained him and all kind of thing like that. We have an update for you on that story.
The man at the center of two bizarre disturbances has been held by police. His identity has not been confirmed. However, Agard residents on February 11th accused the suspect, who is said to be of unsound mind, of accosting a couple and attempting to take their motor vehicle with their 8-month-old baby on board. He was subdued by quick-thinking Agard residents who tied him up in the cab of a small pickup van. That incident was captured in video, now viral on social media. He was transported to the police station, who then asked that he be taken to the wellness center. In a strange turn of events, wellness center staff reportedly referred him back to the police station. He was eventually back on the streets on February 12th and again allegedly attempted to enter another motor vehicle parked in the parking lot at the Camille Henry Primary School.
One of my stepped on the child, and so I went and pulled him. He's holding my hand. I pushed him and give him that pin. I said, no.
A few parents dropping off their children to school responded and again had to wrestle the mentally disturbed suspect. Cell phone video also captured the moments after he was restrained before police officers arrived on scene. The incident triggered a lockdown at Camille Henry Primary School and prompted Education Ministry officials to review security protocols at schools throughout the country. Students and teachers were not injured during the incident. As of February 13th, the suspect remains under armed guard at a medical facility. According to News Force police sources, one of his alleged victims is willing to press charges. Rihani Isidore, HGS.
Why are we treating mentally ill people like they are animals? No, I'm saying that he is wrong for the actions that he has committed. But look how they treat him, guy. Taunting him, tied him up like this, and using some sort of thing to tickle him at the bottom of his feet. Now, how the hell that is different from what he has done to somebody else? No, that is even worse. To torture a mentally disturbed human being. How does that make what you're doing different? As a sane person, torturing him, treating him like an animal. Which is worse? A man who is not aware of his behavior, or somebody who's well aware and continues to do it? You see, our society is so twisted. Our society is so hypocritical. How can we sit there and comfortably watch people treat a human being without his full mental capacity, be treated in such a manner, and think it's okay? I mean, like, really? Really? Someone who is mentally challenged does not have the same cognitive capacity as a normal human being. In other words, they do not understand the consequences of their actions. They are not able to properly calculate the consequences of their actions. So we cannot judge them, we cannot measure them with the same measuring stick that we use against a sane person. And so there is no justification, or should be no justification, for treating another human being in that manner. And we cannot think it's funny, people. We cannot think it's funny. We can't find fun out of that. It's a sick man. Just like how you have your friend with cancer, with leukemia, with all sorts of illnesses, with kidney stones and all that thing. A mental illness is similar to that. Yeah? No, star. We take a break and we will come right back with a national report.
We listened to what you had to say and turn up the old rules, because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your QuickPick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
We mean business and we talk business.
I wanted to go back to when it started.
And we let women in business tell their own stories and inspire others.
But I'm very excited about 2019.
I am Abigail Long, and join me right here for Abby's Power Lunch.
You never looked at a piece of paper. This was just a beautiful conversation.
We talk to women of the Caribbean who make things happen.
I know, let's not just preach it, let's practice it, and it starts from household.
Thank you very much, and it is now time for the National Report.
High-level IMF team commends Grenada for prudent fiscal management. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the details to the news for today, Wednesday, February 13th. I am Rikisha St. Louis. The government of Grenada has received the high commendation for prudent fiscal management from Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Mr. Tao Jung, who is currently visiting the country. At a luncheon hosted by the government, Mr. Jung said Grenada has recorded significant breakthroughs in its economic challenges. Grenada's authorities have done remarkable things in bringing down debt and leaving better public finances for future generations. He says these important gains are a national asset and a product of the hard work of all Grenadians. They deserve to be protected. The IMF official noted that the policy of fiscal discipline instituted by the current administration, supported by the Fiscal Responsibility Law, helped to break a pattern of high debt and low growth.
After the deep economic crisis 5 years ago, your government decided on a policies of fiscal discipline, and supported by the Fiscal Responsibility Law, which is, I think, is passed by the Parliament. All of these have helped break the pattern of high debt and low growth, and this fiscal adjustment helped cut the deficit by almost 10% of GDP. That's a tremendous progress. And in terms of public debt, the country's public debt has been cut or reduced from 108% of GDP in 2013 by more than 40% point by now in just 5 years short period. And despite fears that such a large fiscal adjustment would hurt the economic output, growth in Grenada has actually averaged 5.5% annually during the same period. And this obviously compares favorable with other countries in the ECCU regions and the Caribbean as a whole. And crucially, the government's strong effort received broad backing from domestic shareholders and through the negotiated social compact. In that, I should congratulate Prime Minister Michel and also the parliament members joined together to achieve that.
Notwithstanding these positive developments, Mr. Jung said there is a need to focus on building resilience and added that the focus on post-disaster recovery should be supplemented with better all-round preparedness. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell also underscored the importance of building resilience.
As a small island developing state vulnerable to the effects of climate change, it is important for us to accelerate climate-smart development policies and programs by increasing our investment in climate-resilient infrastructure. In fact, Grenada, as you would have heard, is making strides to have St. George's become the first climate-resilient city in the region. We are proven to be pioneers in many respects and a model for others to follow. With the lessons learned from the devastating impact of Hurricane Ivan in 2004, Grenada has become a regional frontrunner in building resilience to climate change and natural disasters. Our efforts to successfully incorporate disaster relief provisions, including hurricane clauses, into some of our loan instruments are well documented and serve as a model to be emulated by others.
Prior to Wednesday's luncheon, the IMF's Deputy Director and his delegation had a meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, along with the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Ophelia Wells Cornwall, and other representatives from that ministry. The IMF team also met with the Minister responsible for climate resilience, Senator Simon Steele. They also had separate discussions with representatives of the Bankers Association. When it comes to climate change and weather-related activities, timely information is critical to allow people to make informed decisions. That advice from Mr. Adrian Trotman, Chief of Applied Meteorology and Climatology at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology in Barbados. Mr. Trotman is on a brief visit to make a special presentation on governance of climate services delivery in Grenada.
What we also have to recognize is when it comes to climate change, if we look at trends, one of the trends that we're pretty certain of is temperature. Okay? Straight away, what does that imply? Hotter days, hotter nights, right? More discomfort, more heat-related illnesses and inconveniences. And that alone, we're recognizing the trend. And how do we work towards making sure that we can combat anything that could impact on human and the environment? And I gave you the example today of recognizing that the trends are there, and the upward trend in temperature has already been more or less illustrated. Then why wait?
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation, get to your destination safe.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Social Development says Grenada's juvenile rehabilitation system is successfully fulfilling its mandate in society. That's according to Permanent Secretary Veronica Charles during a press conference on Tuesday. The Ministry of Social Development is hosting a delegation from the Ministry of Social Justice in St. Lucia, which is on island, to adopt components of Grenada's SEED program and juvenile justice system in its quest to remodel its social services programs. PS Veronica Charles says since the establishment of the rehabilitation and treatment facility at Grand Bacolet in 2016, there has been many success stories.
It is only last month there was a training, a forum in Guyana, and one of our students who would have gone through the program at Bacolet, he represented Grenada in Guyana. And the feedback we had is that this child would have brought them to tears, the whole forum, because, you know, he was able to explain what he would have learned and how the system at Bacolet would have changed his life.
She spoke of the ministry's intention to seek an extension of residents' stay at the facility to allow them to complete programs. The extension will be outside of the court order and with the consent of the parents.
There are some children, because they came from dysfunctional families, they want to remain at the center. They do not want to go back home. Yeah, we've had, and we're working now with the authorities to see how we can create some sort of agreement that these children will be able to remain, if it's for a month or two, to finish their program, because you can't hold them beyond, you know, the time that the court would have given them to stay. But if we could have agreements with parents so they will be able to finish their education, finish whatever programs they are involved in at the center. And we've seen more and more of this happening.
And finally, the Grenada Cultural Foundation and Spice Mass Corporation has both endorsed one of the newest events on the 2019 Spice Mass calendar, dubbed I Am Mass. The official launch of I Am Mass took place on Wednesday at the Grenada National Stadium. Marcus Laverman James, well-known Grenadian soca artist for over 13 years, is the brand ambassador of I Am Mass, an event geared at revamping the Laverman brand and staging the first ever Laverman Fest on Saturday, July 6, 2019 at the Grenada National Stadium. I Am Mass seeks to incorporate several aspects of culture, including traditional mass, as a build-up to the events of the 2019 Spice Mass calendar. CEO of Spice Mass, Kelvin Jacobs, in endorsing the event, says his vision for harnessing the traditional mass and the efforts of stakeholders and promoters are key.
One of my visions for Spice Mass is the revitalization of the traditional mass, and also the partnerships with the various private promoters for Spice Mass. Because at the end of the day, when we look at the product that we want to create for Spice Mass, we cannot just look at the activities of Spice Mass Corporation. Because when we look at Carnival as a product, it is truly a partnership between the private promoters and the Spice Mass Corporation. And being my passion being a lot for the revitalization of our traditional mass, I really and truly endorse this initiative this morning here by the company to partnership and help us as Spice Mass to promote the traditional mass. So once again, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for having us here. Thank you for getting Spice Mass on board. Thank you for partnering with us, and thank you for helping us to push the traditional mass. And I truly, on behalf of Spice Mass, endorse this initiative.
Shobo Wells, CEO of the Grenada Cultural Foundation, is happy with the incorporation of the traditional mass, which is dying, and the overwhelming support of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
I'm extremely pleased to see and hear an organization like this speaking about our traditional mass. Most times you hear promoters, artists, it's about fancy mass. Mass to the larger population of Grenada is about fancy mass. Today I'm witnessing some presence being given to our traditional mass. We all understand that we've been losing it. The Wild Indian is almost gone. We have been in dialogue with Mr. Wayne Green, and we're very pleased to endorse this product and support it to the fullest. We're not an organization with a lot of money, but we have a lot of capabilities, talents, negotiating skills, etc. And we're fully in support of moving this motion and ensuring that I Am Mass is a reality.
The creation of a website for the I Am Mass was conceptualized by Laverman, where patrons can access the I Am Mass page, events, music, merchandise of I Am Mass, and home-based brand sponsors, and a library of his career and accomplishments over the years. That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, February 13th. Recapping the top story. High-level IMF team commends Grenada for prudent fiscal management. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Rikisha, and the rest of the persons who were part of the production of the national report. And what we have for you is the weather. Now, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with a medium chance of a few light and brief showers. Now, winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate, waves up to 8 feet in open water. A small craft advisory is in effect, and tide is expected to be high at 10:45 p.m. tonight and low at 3:17 a.m. Sun is expected to rise at 6:30 a.m. And that is your weather report. We have exhausted all our time. I just want to say hello to everyone on the program. I'm not going to call any name in particular. I'll say hi to just a few. Dora, Hazel, Shireen, Sherman, Colette, Rena, Kim, Nels, Dale. How are you, Dale? Kireen, Irma, Dora, Jay, Trevelin, Shireen, Shum. I see Ezra and Wendy, Crispin, Ala, and Rhonda, JT, Sarafina, and Nika, Trevelin, and Rita, and Camille, and Nikki, and everyone else on the program, man. Big up all the stuff. Spice Girl, you're there. Suzette is there. Patsy is there. 2 Patsys, all right? And Rachel, more than 1 Rachels as well. Hello to you guys, all right? Rhonda, Naomi, and Esther. Blessings to you, and we will touch base tomorrow, God's willing, again. And to all the folks who are viewing via WPG10 and Clotilda, hello to you as well. All the folks who's viewing via WPG10, I'd like to say thank you very much for so doing. We touch base with you tomorrow, God's willing. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, ja, no. Good night, everyone. Goodbye.